m.reck TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the MReck and Rib Show. What's going on, Reck?
Peace, Rick. Salute, man. How you doing?
Listen, man, you already know it's been a, tough couple of weeks ever since the news broke about,
Facts.
comedian Reggie Carroll. We've been doing our best to try to give y'all as much facts as possible. I know a lot of people are still hurt, still grieving. Recently, if you haven't checked out our interview with Scruncho and his reaction to all of this controversy involving Reggie Carroll and Katt Williams' bodyguard at some point, still unclear. People are saying he worked on the tour with Katt, the Heaven on Earth
Mm-hmm.
tour, but from what we gathered, this guy who is being charged with the murder of Reggie Carroll, he's been running with Katt for a while. So again,
Facts.
we haven't been able to get any motive as to what happened. According to
Mm-hmm.
the DA, they're treating this as an isolated shooting, officially clearing Katt Williams from any, involvement or wrongdoing. But let's go back to how it all started. Over the weekend, this past weekend, Billy Sorrells, he essentially got the ball rolling as far as getting the attention that Reggie Carroll in this murder is receiving on social media that you see today. Billy Sorrells, he went, on a rant on IG
Mm-hmm.
demanding answers from Katt Williams. Okay, essentially, he's the one who pretty much let it be known that Reggie Carroll was at a Katt Williams property. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Making a lot of claims, and he's made about 2 videos since then. Of course, Billy Sorrells, he's been having this feud with Katt Williams for years. But the point is, ever since the DA addressed the public, Billy Sorrells, moments ago, he made a post addressing the new details that's been confirmed by the DA. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out this
Mm-hmm.
post. We're going to see what Billy has to say. Then we're going to give y'all our thoughts. And we're going to go from there. So again, Billy Sorrells on IG, he put this post up. Try to zoom in. You want to read this, Rack? I
Let me
know you
see.
got
Can
the
I see it?
screenshot. You might can read it on your phone.
Yeah. So if I go out, hopefully it don't take me out the room, Hold on. Let
No,
me
you good.
see.
I got you. I got it up on the screen. It's all good. Billy Sorrells in the post, he says, how you 6'8" and need to hit a nigga with a shotgun 5 times? That's
Mm.
crazy. How you claim self-defense with 5 shots on a 12 gauge? Also, has anyone asked why Katt's son Micah don't deal with him? The reason is based around him and Suge Knight both liking men. I ain't saying that. But sue me because I'm stating facts. Either you for Reggie or Big Blood. All right. Now, of course,
Mm.
he accusing Suge Knight and Katt of doing some funny things. But in the caption, Billy
Allegedly,
Sorrell,
we gotta say
yeah,
allegedly.
allegedly, right. But yeah, Billy in the caption tags Katt Williams again. I mean, let's be real. He's been tagging
Mm.
a lot of posts. He's tagged Katt Williams, and he says, "You thought I stopped because you bribing the local officials?
Mm.
No, Too Tall was your silver, and Agua brought him to you at 16. If you want to kill me over this, it was all Katt and Suge. They both closeted bisexuals. Let's investigate. I don't fear
Mm.
no men who like D. I want all the suit discoveries. He says, I want all the suits. Discovery is going to show the truth because I'm not scared. Your LLC is on the place Reggie was killed. No days off. Let's start the RICO. FBI. Ain't no street. Everyone snitch. Let's tell the truth. Prove you not. You bullied everyone but me. So, like I said,
Mm.
a lot of people are calling out Billy Sorrells because they feel like his dislike for Katt Williams is
Mm-hmm.
why he's constantly, calling out Katt. And there is truth to that because Katt has pissed off a lot of people, especially since,
Facts.
the Club Shay Shay interview. But Rec, what are your thoughts on this post
Mm-hmm.
overall? I mean, do you think he's capping when he's making these claims this past week?
Nah, not at all. Because if he was, the DA wouldn't have directly addressed all his claims when they
Mm.
made that press release. Everything he said, they addressed in terms
Hmm.
of the property being owned by Katt, um, Reggie Carroll being a comedian in Katt Williams' camp, Reggie Carroll being an employee of Katt Williams. See, this is the thing where it's shaky. If these two individuals, right, they said it's a separate incident, these two individuals are tenants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the LLC has the bodyguard name on it, right?
Right.
Now, why do we see videos from a year ago with fans or just regular people saying that's Katt Williams' property? This is before this incident. This is over a year ago. You could pull that up. I think you sent it to me, right? Correct? On Twitter? It was.
I think it was a video of someone riding past his property in Shreveport, Louisiana. I
Mm-hmm,
think that was the truck, the video where you seen like the Cybertruck or something like that in the driveway.
mm-hmm.
But there was a tweet that was
Yeah,
posted about a
there was a
year
tweet.
ago. That yes,
Mm-hmm,
it was a thread in which an individual was saying like, "Yo, I didn't know Katt stayed out in South Haven, Mississippi. It's crazy." And then someone
correct.
responded in the comments
Mm-hmm,
saying, yeah, when he's not around, family and them, they maintain, and they specifically named DeSoto County. So those in the neighborhood in that area,
mm-hmm.
they've known about Katt in his house for years. And of course, that's not the one, where Reggie was found, where this incident,
Correct.
supposedly took place. Okay. But yeah, very interesting now that we finally get confirmation on the murder weapon, which people are
Mm-hmm,
now stuck. What I mean? Shocked because it's so brutal. This is overkill. Like people got to understand. I know it's a lot of
correct.
people covering this topic because of Katt Williams'
Mm-hmm,
name, right? But people got to understand. Some of us knew Reggie personally, and we know things that you guys don't know. So I need y'all to understand that when we're
mm-hmm.
speaking, this isn't just gossip and rumored. We are doing our best to try to make sense of all of this because those within the city, they know that for the past year or so Reggie was working with Katt. Everybody he had business with kind of put everything on pause because he's on the road getting that money with Katt. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
yes, it was a break. You know what I mean? From what I know, they were on a break since July 4th, and the next date is supposedly, I want to say September 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I got to go back and look at the dates. But the tour is getting ready to pick back up. So, who is ready to risk everything, knowing you got more money to get? It's the second leg getting ready to start. So that's the part that's just very strange about this. We just people like myself and those, MReck, those who knew Reggie, they just want a
Mm-hmm.
story, an official story as to what happened. Because right now, even the DA hasn't released the motive behind this shooting. But for those who, haven't seen what the DA said yesterday, or actually it's
Hmm.
Friday. Was that yesterday or was it Wednesday? Let me
That
make
might have
sure.
been Wednesday.
August 27th. Yes, 2 days ago to be exact. Let me put
Mm-hmm.
y'all on game right quick so we can just go over some of the facts that have been released. Okay. Whether you believe it or not, that's up to y'all. But according to an article from the DeSoto County News, this is the district attorney, Matthew Barton. Okay. He spoke with the news conference, with the media, the press. And let's see what he said. Okay. The shooting and arrest. Carroll, who was living in South Haven at the time of his death, was fatally shot at a residence on Burton Lane around 6:30 p.m. last Wednesday. All right. Authorities said both Carroll and Williams lived at the residence as roommates. Okay.
Hmm.
Responding officers quickly arrived on scene and attempted life-saving measures before Carroll was transported to a hospital where he died from his injuries. Okay, they're saying Williams was taken into custody that night after investigators determined there was probable cause for an arrest warrant. All right, so they're saying he was arrested that night. And then they say, legal process moving forward. Williams remains in custody without bond. A preliminary hearing and bond hearing were originally scheduled for Wednesday, but have been postponed for a week at the request of the defense. All right. Barton explained that once the South Haven Police Department completes its investigation, the case file will be turned over to the office for review and presentation to a DeSoto County grand jury. Then the grand jury will determine whether to indict Williams on formal charges. Okay, so the quote from Barton says, "We don't rush these cases. We act diligently, but the gravity of the situation requires us to be very thorough." All right. Now, the chief, Kern, and Barton both emphasized that the shooting was an isolated incident between two roommates and not part of a broader crime trend in South Haven. All right. The quote is saying that this is not an indication of a problem in the neighborhood or in our city. Okay. It was a private matter between two individuals. All right. Authorities also dispelled rumors linking the residents to comedian Katt Williams. All right. Officials confirmed that the property was a rental home leased to Carroll and Trinell Williams and had zero connection to the entertainer. All right. The quote that Barton said, the DA said, "This is going to take time, but justice will be pursued as quickly and reasonably as possible." All right. But yeah, I mean, this is the official word. But again, it was confirmed that the murder weapon was a shotgun. And according to the DA, Reggie was hit multiple times with a shotgun. This is why it just people are even more stunned now because we're trying to figure out what happened. And according to the DA, this is an isolated incident, right? What are your thoughts on all of this? You still there, right?
Yeah, my damn alarm went off and it threw everything off.
No, you good. You
Forgot
good.
about it.
I ain't hear nothing, so it didn't cut through the stream. You good.
I don't think my headphones are doing that. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, like I said, those who knew the particulars about Reggie's, living situation, everybody assumed that, he was with Katt. You know what I mean? May not be at Katt crib, but at this location, they're saying that Reggie was a tenant, roommates with the guy who killed him. You know what I mean? But according to police, man, zero connection to Katt Williams. So again, the motive, they seem to be very tight-lipped about this. So
Correct.
I mean, what do you think about them, taking this long to just give us a motive as to what caused the shooting?
I feel like they buying time. Let's not forget the first, I guess, narrative that went out when we found out that Reggie got killed or murdered. Somebody couldn't take a joke in a nightclub. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people put that comment. I'm seeing it on multiple platforms. People just saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that was the first thing we heard. Remember?
Through posts, on social media.
So it went from that to, they was tenants at this property. So now, look, okay, if that's the case, where's the rent receipts? Where's the lease? You understand what I'm saying? But also remember, it was reported that this property was owned by Katt Williams, his company, his merch company, right? I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, hold on, let me share this article from Fox 13. they're basically saying that, for one, Katt has zero connection to the situation. So whatever happened, they're basically saying it happened between Reggie and the bodyguard. But according to the article, they're saying the property was rented to an out-of-state company. You get what I mean? So
a
is
shell
this
company,
official? Right.
allegedly.
Right. But, they're trying to clear him. They're saying it was not Katt Williams' house. Katt was not there. We have no reason to believe he was ever involved in any way, shape, or form. Now, again, I need to correct some people who are just rushing to assume that people are blaming Katt Williams for. No one's blaming Katt for this.
Not
What
at
we're
all.
saying is when someone is out of town and they're on your watch and people, family of the victim is searching for answers. And because again, people act as if like we just jumped out there Wednesday night. Yo, Reggie Carroll. No. We sat back for about 3 to 4 days and
Facts.
waited, made some
Purposely.
calls. Yes.
Purposely.
It was people in Reggie family that were making posts on social media, adding certain people, tagging people that was on tour with Reggie, asking why is no one returning phone calls, messages. I mean, that is what led to the questions after a while, because at the end of the day, we understand how, the legal system works. Anything you say, will be used against you. We understand that logic. However, this is supposed to be someone who is, your brother, so to speak.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And that's the part that's unfortunate, because those who were around Reggie in the past couple of years, or just known him in general, he spoke very highly of Katt and Monique. Gave it up all the time. So
all the time.
God forbid if something was to happen to one of us, I got to hold it down. Yeah, of course I wasn't there. Of course I don't know what the hell happened. But, I lost a security guard. I lost a close friend of mine. I'm devastated. I can't give y'all no more, but I'm hurt, y'all. This is my brother. We go way back to our Cat in the Hat days. Like, man, I don't know where I would be without Reggie. Like, this is what people are assuming, would be in a post or something. But no.
Exactly.
Nothing. And people are like mad that people would suggest something like that. But the way Reggie, painted the relationship, like them boys was close. You know what I mean? So if that's my brother, it's like, yo, we not saying go on the road and, go on social media and tell everybody what happened, but damn.
Correct.
Nothing?
Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
If they go through Reggie Carroll Instagram, you'll see posts of him making all the dates that he was performing on tour. For everybody that probably feels like Reggie and Katt wasn't even, rocking like that, or Katt didn't know Reggie like that, So all the dates on that Heaven on Earth tour that Reggie was performing is on his IG. His IG is at what? Comedian Reggie Carroll.
Yeah, he got like 4 of them.
Yeah, so go to the Instagram, stop celebrity worshiping, and do your research.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. Like, because if this is one of your brothers, your son, you won't be taking this on the chin.
That's a fact. But I
So
want to show y'all something though, because those of us who knew Reggie, you get these stories. Like it seemed like they want to paint a narrative of, him possibly, getting to himself into a situation. And, it could be true. Again, it's all speculation. We don't know. That's the point. But
we don't.
To give context, as far as like how far Katt and homie that shot Reggie go back, I got something to show y'all. Check this out, man. Now, what y'all seeing on the screen here is somebody who go by the name of Will Rap for Food. Okay. He got a video 12 years ago with, guess who, y'all? Katt Williams, man. Wow. So if Reggie know Katt for years and this homie know Katt for years, what happened? Exactly. You know what I mean? Because the way that he was hit with that shotty, you would assume nobody had love for that man. That's all I'm saying. It's just the energy's not matching up. But here go homie that's now currently arrested for the murder of Reggie Carroll. Okay? So, you know, the history and the ties, it goes way back, man.
How many
Those that
years?
know, this say 12 years ago.
Come
So
on.
this video was uploaded May 14th, 2013. Yeah. Those that know Reggie, he knew Katt way back. You know what I mean? So it's safe to say that, you know, they knew each other, the shooter and Reggie and Katt. Remember, Reggie, he left Baltimore for some years, went to the West Coast, and then he came back around the time we got acquainted with Reggie. You
Correct.
know what I'm saying? But he was on the West Coast. And you know, he had ran with Katt. Reggie had ran with Katt, you know. So it's like it's safe to say that all parties knew each other. You know what I mean? If I'm with you, Rec,
Definitely.
and your man's in the house and something happened with me and your man's, I'm not going to just straight jump the gun, you know, because of out of respect for you and the love I'm supposed to have for you. But a shotty multiple times, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. I might have to,
Overkill.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's brutal, man. I might gotta blur that out. But this is the homie right here, y'all. That's arrested, you
Again.
know, again, arrested for the murder of Reggie Carroll. Again, they're treating it like an isolated shooting. Katt has been ruled out. And, you know, according to reports, these guys were roommates at this location where they were selling Katt Williams merchandise. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we got Billy Sorrells. He not buying it. You know what I mean? He's already making claims that Katt then, you know what I mean, paid officials off in law enforcement. I ain't gonna lie, you know, watching the press conference, you know, homie was definitely stumbling and fumbling a little bit, but
Big
I get it.
time.
You know, you got to be careful what you say because social media is watching. We are trying to figure it out. And now we have to wait another week in hopes to get an official answer as to what happened. Because right now, no one seems to know what happened. Katt wasn't there, according to the district attorney. So, again, it's unfortunate that something like this had to happen. But just know we're going to try our best to get y'all as much facts as possible. Like I said, we knew Reggie personally. So, certain
Facts.
things it's not adding up, man. We just want to know, like,
At
damn,
all.
what happened? You know what I mean? Was they just talking shit and it went out of hand? My thing is, why does it take 2-3 weeks for us to find out the motive?
Correct.
Maybe I'm bugging, but too many people in the comment section, what they say, celebrity worshiping, they just automatically knew Katt ain't got nothing to do with this. Why y'all bringing his name up? Listen, man, we got love for Katt. We not trying to see, you know what I mean, Katt and his whole
Correct.
brand come to an end. This is deeper than entertainment. Y'all got to go beyond that. This could have been any one of us. This could have been you watching this video. And
Exactly.
because people don't know you like they know Katt, guess what would have happened? They'd have swept it under the rug. Come on. You know what I mean? When you got to start reaching out through media to get answers, I shouldn't have to go through this. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, it's very unfortunate, but Billy Sorrells, it looked like he doubling down on his claims, and we just have to wait and see. But so far, we got Scruncho's reaction. That's up right now. A lot of people have been reacting to Scruncho's reaction to the passing, right, to the murder of Reggie Carroll. What was your thoughts on the reaction to this interview since it's been uploaded, right?
I seen a lot of people trying to discredit Scruncho for being disgruntled. You know, like he's mad that he's not in Katt position, so he's hating on him, stuff like that. You know, but for the most part, I just think people just need to use common sense. You know what I mean? And then understand Scruncho's position. You know, he said, that's my partner, that's my brother.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, it's a comedy community. Outside of the public, these comedians, they talk to each other. They, you know what I mean? They vibe with each other. They got the word of what
It's a
happened.
brotherhood, right?
It's a
It's a
brotherhood.
brotherhood.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. So he knows certain information that the public don't know, but he's also like, come on, Katt, like, I know what you're trying to do, but this is Reggie, homie. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like, don't do Reggie like that. You trying to act like you didn't know Reggie, or you trying to act like okay, Reggie and homie had the crib down there, and that was their thing. That's not the case.
Hmm.
Okay, we trying to hold back from saying, you know, certain things
Yeah.
because we was locked in with Reggie like that, and Scruncho was locked in with Reggie like that. But it's information y'all don't know. You know what I mean? Let's just say that we
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and we
And that's what makes
yeah,
it personal for us because, you know, it's one thing if we don't know any of the parties involved. You know what I mean? You just know about Katt Williams and, you know, his brand. But nah, you know, to a degree, not even to a degree, you know, we all collectively, those involved, played our part in helping Reggie get back to being on that road with Katt. You know
it's
what
a
I
fact.
mean? That's why it's like all of us are hurt because we all were rooting for Reggie on his journey, waiting to see what was next. I mean, it was already talked that, you know, Reggie was going to get a stand-up special and all of these things. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, those in his corner who have been working with Reggie in the past couple of years, devastated because no one would have thought that this would have been the end for Reggie. So this is why, you know, individuals like ourselves and other relatives that were close to him, even the comedians, y'all got to understand Reggie, yo, he he traveled this comedy space all around the globe, yo.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of, you know, uh, states. You know what I mean? So many different comedians you might know about, some you may not. But as you can see, it's
Mm-hmm.
the comedians reaching out, giving their testimony on, you know, their relationship with Reggie and understanding the man in his heart. You know, we all got our shit with us. You know what I'm saying? Me from Baltimore, you from Brooklyn. You know, certain shit we not going. You know what I'm saying? But we all come in peace. We all have good intentions. And I think that's why people are devastated because everybody knew when Reggie was dead, you know, you were safe. You know what I mean? Like he will
Facts.
hold you down. It'd be you and Reggie in a room, you know what I mean, with 100 people. And Reggie be right there with you, ready to fight 100 people. That's how loyal Reggie is to the people he
Mm-hmm.
rock with. So this is why it's like, yo, if you surrounded by those that you would give your life for, that's because you trust them. You know what I
Correct.
mean? So that's why we kind of like, hold up, you know, you're not
Look,
saying nothing.
I
So
gotta say this. You know, and Scruncho said it, but it got distorted. We was moving with the Knockout Kings of Comedy, Reggie Carroll, Scruncho. Things was looking real good. You know what I'm saying? Going real great. You know what I mean? The joint
mm-hmm,
hitting Tubi, Amazon, you know, sold out event, all that. And in the mix of all that, Katt Williams called. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So now Katt Williams didn't call on some yo salute Reggie, you know, congrats on the Knockout Kings of Comedy. He called for Reggie to come on tour with him.
yeah,
See, that information is being left out. That information is not being reported. Because
yeah. That's
you know
last
why?
year, by the way. That's last
Yeah,
year.
you know why?
Yeah,
Because mainstream media don't know about that. The public don't know about that. But we
yeah.
know about that directly.
Mm-hmm. And those, and you know, because obviously people that's speaking with the media from the city here, they know it too.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie was transparent within the community of those, you know, in the tribe he rock with. It's a lot of comedians he might not like as well, but you know, we all got our likes and dislikes for people. But for those that he had love for and did business with, shared stages with, they knew where Reggie been at. You know what I mean? He just was at the arena here, the CFG Bank Arena back in March.
There you go.
You know, he went from doing the
With
show with
who?
us as
With
with
who
Katt,
though?
opening up, yeah, with Katt on the Katt Williams tour, Heaven on Earth tour.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that was a statement for Reggie because a year prior is when he was doing the stages at Sully's, the Port, you know,
Mm-hmm.
all of these open mics in the city. And this is where me and him was working just to, you know, keep him on his A
Correct.
game. You know what I mean? So when he came back earlier this year, you know, it was like redemption for him. All y'all who tried to
Mm-hmm.
count me out, shit on me, don't think I forgot. Now look at me. Because people, you know, not seeing Reggie for all these years in Baltimore, you might not be acquainted, but when he came around, he let you know who he ran with, what he done, his resume. And for those who wasn't informed, for those, you feel me, they might have looked at Reggie like he was crazy. You
Mm-hmm.
ran with who? Katt, Mo? Yeah, all right, whatever. And literally 1 year later, He on the biggest stage in the city, doing exactly what he told y'all he was gonna do. Like, yo, told comedians he was gonna have a special on Tubi. He told them all of this before it happened. They looked at him like he was wild. And yo, we to be a part of that. That's why, you know, it's unfortunate. Because it's like we made history together. You know what I mean? That's what God allowed for everybody to, you know, be a part of this, because it wasn't just me and you. It was a lot of people who contributed to this event. You know what I mean? And the way it was handled, you know, how it was sold out, people showed up. Yo, that was a dope moment, man. One of my proudest moments, if I'm being honest with y'all. So for homie, for it to end like this, nah, we just want the truth. And some point we're gonna get an official story. But with that being said, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also head on over to my brother mrecktv. Check him out. He got some dope content, you know, pertaining to this Tank and Javante Davis. I know you got the content with homie Spawn Partner. Y'all make sure to check out with that.
Salute, yeah, my man, David Flat Sparks, aka the Mad Boxer. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But you know, like I said, everything kind of got put on pause because of the situation with Reggie. I know a lot of platforms is now jumping in the arena covering it, and that's a good thing, because now it forces, you know, people to have to say something. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if Reggie didn't get all of this attention in the press, you know, the authority will be handling it as such. You know what I mean? That was really the intent on covering it, to prevent this from being swept under the rug, because there's too many people that got love for Reggie on the East Coast, the West Coast, everywhere throughout America. You know what I mean? And before we get up out of here, ask yourself this, yo. If this was your son, your brother, your uncle, your relative, and the last time they spoke to you, told you, you know, they was with one of the biggest stars, not even just an individual out of town, and been with them, and you reach out to get an official word on what happened and no one seems to know, wouldn't you want answers? Wouldn't you be suspicious? Would you be like, well, you know, I know that's my brother. I know that's my son, my uncle, my dad. But, you know, Katt Williams, you know, he's been advised not to say nothing now, y'all. Like, this shit is crazy to me. Nobody's asking the man to go on social media and make a confession. No, what we're saying is it's been 8 days and you ain't even got an RIP post.
Word.
Like, the way we was told, him and Katt rock like that. So God forbid something happened to one of us, it ain't gonna take me 8 days to make a post to show love, especially because of the situation. You know what I mean? It's connection. Too many people involved with Katt Williams, yet they ruling him out when it comes to this murder. But like I said, people are gonna look at, you know, the one who running this whole situation. That's Katt. Like, yo, he been missing. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm sure at some point he's gonna put out an official statement, because it's too much uncertainty in the air. And once again, you know, we have to wait till next week to get an official story as to what happened between this individual, you know what I mean, Trinell Williams and Reggie Carroll. But again, y'all let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. With that being said, y'all, we up out of here.
Word. Peace.
Peace.
MReck TV.